Welcome to Gender Chronicles. Join us as we untangle the complex weave of gender dynamics. We help you navigate the intricate relations between the sexes with confidence and wisdom. The subject of our discussion today, the manosphere. The very word feels loaded, conjuring images of shadowy internet forums and angry young men. But what exactly is it? In essence, the manosphere is a loose collection of online communities and subcultures. These groups center themselves around a particular view of masculinity, their focus, men's issues, often viewed through an anti-feminist lens. The manosphere isn't a monolith, it's more like a fragmented mosaic comprised of various groups with differing, often conflicting ideologies. Some groups focus on self-improvement for men, promoting traditional masculinity and stoicism. Others delve into the murky waters of men's rights activism, decrying perceived injustices against men in areas like family law and divorce. Yet, within this digital landscape, a darker side lurks. Some corners of the manosphere harbor extreme views. They promote a form of masculinity rooted in dominance and control. To understand this complex and often disturbing phenomenon, we need to dissect it. We need to examine its various factions, its origins, and the factors that have fueled its growth. To truly grasp the manosphere's significance, we can't just analyze it from a distance. We need to delve into the minds of those who inhabit this digital space. What are their motivations? What are their grievances? And what are the potential consequences of their rhetoric? This exploration demands sensitivity and nuance. It's crucial to avoid generalizations and to recognize the diversity within this sprawling online movement. The first step in understanding the manosphere is to unpack its diversity. It's not a single entity, but rather a spectrum of groups with varying degrees of extremism. Let's take a closer look at some of the key players. First, we have the men's rights activists, or MRAs. This faction focuses on what they perceive as systemic disadvantages faced by men, particularly in areas like family law, child custody disputes, and societal expectations. They argue that men are often discriminated against in these areas, and they advocate for legal and social reforms to address these perceived injustices. Next, we encounter Men Going Their Own Way, or MGTOW. This group promotes a radical form of self-reliance, urging men to disengage from traditional relationships and societal expectations. They believe that men are better off avoiding romantic relationships with women altogether, focusing instead on personal growth and self-discovery. Then there are the pickup artists, or PUAs. This group is fixated on techniques and strategies for seducing women. They often employ manipulative tactics and view dating as a game to be won. The PUA community often promotes a transactional view of relationships. Another group within the manosphere is the incels, or involuntary celibates. This group harbors intense frustration towards women, blaming them for their inability to find romantic partners. Incels often engage in violent rhetoric and have been linked to real-world acts of violence. Finally, we have the fathers' rights movement. This group focuses on the rights of fathers in custody disputes and parental alienation cases. While their concerns about fathers' rights are often valid, some factions within this movement blame women for denying fathers access to their children. To truly understand the manosphere, we need to delve into the underlying factors that have fueled its growth. Why do men join these online communities? What are their motivations and grievances? One contributing factor is the perceived loss of traditional male roles in society. As gender roles continue to evolve, some men feel a sense of displacement and uncertainty. They yearn for a time when masculinity was more clearly defined and men held a more dominant position in society. This nostalgia for a bygone era can lead some men to seek solace and validation in online communities that reinforce traditional gender roles. Another factor is the challenges men face in navigating modern dating and relationships. The rise of online dating, shifting relationship dynamics, and changing expectations can create confusion and frustration for some men. These frustrations can lead some to seek out online communities that validate their experiences. The backlash against feminism is another significant factor contributing to the manosphere's rise. Some men view feminism as a threat to their rights and privileges. They believe that feminism has gone too far in promoting women's rights at the expense of men's rights. The internet itself, with its echo chambers and algorithms, plays a crucial role in amplifying these sentiments. Online platforms can create filter bubbles where individuals are only exposed to information that confirms their existing beliefs. This can lead to the reinforcement and radicalization of extreme views. Finally, the lack of healthy outlets for men to discuss their struggles and concerns contributes to the allure of the manosphere. Men are often socialized to suppress their emotions and to project an image of strength and stoicism. This can make it difficult for them to seek help or support when they're struggling. Online communities can provide a sense of anonymity and camaraderie, allowing men to express vulnerabilities they might feel uncomfortable sharing in offline settings. The manosphere in many ways is a creature of the internet. It's difficult to imagine this sprawling network of interconnected communities existing without the unique affordances of the digital world. Several factors have contributed to the internet's role as a breeding ground for the manosphere. First and foremost, online forums and communities provide a sense of anonymity and a platform for like-minded individuals to connect. Platforms like Reddit, 4chan, and countless other forums have become virtual gathering places for men to discuss their views on masculinity, relationships, and gender roles. Social media has also played a significant role in amplifying manosphere content. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement and virality often end up promoting extreme content, as it tends to generate more clicks, shares, and comments. The anonymity provided by the internet is a double-edged sword. While it can be a force for good, allowing individuals to express themselves freely without fear of reprisal, it can also embolden those with strong or extreme ideologies. The manosphere has certainly benefited from this cloak of anonymity, allowing individuals to express strong views without facing real-world consequences. Finally, the decentralized nature of the internet makes it incredibly difficult to regulate or control the spread of information, including niche content. The manosphere, with its loosely affiliated groups and constantly evolving online presence, is a prime example of this challenge. It's a hydra-headed beast. Cutting off one head simply leads to the growth of two more. In a decentralized movement, pinpointing key figures can be quite challenging. Unlike traditional hierarchies, these movements thrive on collective action and shared leadership. Interestingly, influence often stems from individuals who may not hold official titles but have a significant impact through their ideas and actions. These key figures emerge organically, driven by passion and commitment rather than formal positions. By understanding these dynamics, we can better appreciate the unique structure and power of decentralized movements. The online platforms of the manosphere. These digital spaces range from forums and blogs to social media groups and video channels. They serve as hubs where members share their thoughts and advice. It's like an intricate web, connecting individuals who feel marginalized or misunderstood by mainstream society. The reach and influence of these platforms can be quite profound, shaping opinions and reinforcing beliefs within the community. To truly grasp the manosphere, we need to delve into its underground origins. This subculture didn't just appear overnight, it evolved over time, emerging from early internet forums and chat rooms. These were places where men could express thoughts and ideas that they felt were overlooked by the broader culture. Over the years, these discussions have grown more organized and in some cases more radical. Understanding this history helps us comprehend the complex dynamics at play today. The rise of the manosphere as an online and underground phenomenon emerges as a complex response to the exclusion and stigmatization of policy issues perceived as vital to men. In contemporary society, public discourse surrounding these concerns, ranging from fatherhood rights to men's mental health and workplace inequalities, is often met with societal resistance, relegated to the fringes of acceptability. The roots of this marginalization, it is argued, lie in the dominance of what critics term intolerant feminist and gynocentric monocultures that have purportedly taken hold in key institutions, particularly colleges and universities. Once celebrated as bastions of intellectual exploration, these institutions have increasingly been criticized by some for becoming rigid arenas of ideological conformity. Far from being free marketplaces of ideas, they are described as resembling Orwellian telescreens, metaphorical watchtowers of constant surveillance, censorship, and enforcement. Critics assert that dissenting perspectives on gender issues, particularly those that question mainstream feminist narratives, are not merely debated, but swiftly silenced, with the dissenters often subjected to professional and social reprisals. This chilling effect extends beyond academia to public spaces at large, including the media, corporate boardrooms, and non-profit sectors. Policy matters that resonate with men are often viewed with suspicion, if not outright disdain. Advocates who broach these topics frequently recount stories of ostracization, punitive actions, and the irreversible loss of careers and livelihoods. The social penalty for championing men's rights has fostered a climate of fear, leaving many with little choice but to retreat into anonymity. Thus, the internet became a refuge, offering the anonymity and detachment that real-world discourse increasingly denied. Online platforms provided a rare space where grievances could be aired freely, albeit under pseudonyms and avatars, safe from the looming threat of real-world repercussions. Within these digital enclaves, men forged communities where they could articulate their frustrations, challenge prevailing narratives, and craft counter-discourses to the mainstream. While critics dismiss the manosphere as a hotbed of extremism, others argue that its very existence reflects a broader societal failure to accommodate pluralism in discussions of gender and rights. The retreat of these discussions to the shadows may be less a testament to the illegitimacy of the grievances and more an indictment of a public sphere that increasingly struggles to balance competing voices in the marketplace of ideas. Finally, let's consider the manosphere's impact and future. This subculture has already left a significant mark on both online and offline worlds. Its influence can be seen in various social movements and political discussions. But what does the future hold? Will the manosphere continue to grow and evolve, or will it face pushback and decline? Only time will tell. However, one thing is certain. Understanding and addressing the manosphere is crucial for fostering a more inclusive and empathetic society. That's all for now, but the story of gender minefields is far from over. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll delve into another gender explosive. Like, subscribe, share to empower others, and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when it drops. And remember, your thoughts matter. Let us know what you'd like us to explore next.